प्रभु तव मूर्ति विनोदकारी पलपन विसरे नहीं जो विसारी जोगल चरण सोल चिन्ह जेह नजर समीपे रहो हमारी एह नजर समीपे रहो हमारी एह स्वामीनारायण भगवान नीजे ठाकुर जी महाराज नीजे सदगुरुदेव नीजे Wala Wala, our utmost dear Shri Thakurji Maharaj, our divine Muktanandiya Guru Parampara, our Valaputri Guruji, and all of you Bhaktos, Jai Swaminarayan. Jai Swaminarayan. Majama? Utsav. Very well. Today's Loyadham question answer webinar for this Sunday. Let's see who our participants are. Of course, yes. Yash Bhagat, New Jersey. Jai Swaminarayan Bhagat and Manav Bhagat, Canada. Jai Swaminarayan Bhagat. Kem cho Bhakto? All right. Let's take some.
Yes, sir. Just
let's take some mini interviews. Yash Bhagat, Jai Swaminarayan Bhagat. Kem cho? How are you? Very well.
Good, Swami.
Nervous? First time on live broadcasting?
Yeah, a little.
A little nervous. Not too much, right? You'll be able to speak, right?
Yeah.
Good. I need you to speak. Barabar che. Something interesting about yourself? Yash Bhagat? Kind of caught you off guard, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure you know something interesting about yourself.
Yeah, Swami. I don't know how to say it right now.
Okay, that's all right. We can move on. What grade are you in?
11th.
11th, nice. And favorite subject in school?
I would say science.
Science, awesome. Do you have any favorite Kirtans or anything like that?
No, Swami.
Okay, very well. And I see your complexion has become whiter. I don't know. It's just something those who are watching will figure out, especially New Jersey Bhaktas. Manu Bhagat, Jasram Bhagat, how are you?
Jasram Swami, I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Nervous?
Not really, Swami.
It doesn't seem like it. Very well. Something interesting about yourself?
It's not really that big, but I like to play cricket.
Of course. Cricket, that's good. That's the Indian national sport, I think. Very well. Favorite prasang of Guruji? Maybe you want to share with us?
I remember, it's really old, but I remember it was a story about when he was in India and he got a boil on his, I think the back of his neck. And they did surgery and stuff, but even before that, for whatever reason, he had to bear the pain for a couple days, and apparently a boil is very painful, but he didn't show any signs of pain. So his Sansakti is very high.
Sansakti Atmanishta, very well observation. Good. Awesome. You guys know how this works. You sent me questions a couple days prior. I analyzed it, I researched according to Bhagwan Siddhants, and I'm going to answer it for you here in live. So I want to go with Manav Bhagat first regarding his question. Manav Bhagat, go ahead and shoot away.
So my question is that what is the importance of controlling worldly desires according to Maharaj, and how can I practically apply this to improve myself?
Very well. Good question. Importance of controlling worldly desires. Well, first we have to identify what are worldly desires. Worldly desires, according to the Vachnamrut, are called Panch Vishays. Panch Vishays meaning the pleasures of the five senses that the Jiv indulges in, the soul indulges in. Sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. So Let me give you some examples to break that down. Sight. Looking at something that is attractive in our mind, that's something that is sight. Sound is something like hearing some kind of music or even some kind of talks that may be more worldly related. That's sound. Smell, cologne, stuff like that. More that's taste. Obviously, eating outside food, fast food restaurants versus homemade food. And touch. Touch is more like, furs and stuff like that, but we don't really pertain to that. Now, these 5 senses can either go towards godly direction or towards worldly direction. Now, examples. If it was towards godly, it would be like having the darshan of Bhagwan through the eyes, listening to Bhagwan's Katha and Kirtan, that's the sound. Smell it will be of perfume, but it would be applied on Bhagwan. So then after you smell it, it would be connected to the Bhagwan more than the world. Taste is offering thar to Bhagwan and then eating it. And touch is kind of like doing Bhagwan seva. Those are of Bhagwan related, and of the world related, I just told you about. Now, your question is, what is the importance of controlling worldly desires according to Maharaj? Have you heard of that pad? Ajamarordere avya avinashi albil, right? 4 p.m. every day, we sing that pad in front of Bhagwan, and Bhaktos sing it all around in the world in the Sampradaya, right? It's very famous. Behind that, let's say Kirtan, there is a story, short and sweet. Sadguru Shri Premanand Swami was, he was a kavi, he was a poet. And Chaturmas, it's 4 months, Santos take niyams, and he took the niyam of writing 4 stanzas. 4 stanzas meaning 4 paragraphs of Kirtans every single day. Now what happened was one of the nights, it was in Chaturmas, one of the nights, Swami was writing and he finished 2 and it was late night and he kind of dozed off. So Bhagwan found out through his Shakti, his powers, and he went where Swami was, and just so Swami's niyam would not break, Bhagwan himself finished the other 2 stanzas. Bolya Shri Hari re sambro nar nari harijan ane vadi sau sambro re mari varta param anup. Out of these 2 stanzas, the last stanza, I want to analyze, and it has your first part of the question perfectly put in. So if I can get that picture up, Bhagat, thank you so much. Now, as you can see here, this is the stanza, the beginning. Vadi sau sambro re Mari Varta Paramanup. So there's a meaning right below it. We'll analyze it after we kind of go through it first. Param Siddhanta Chere Sone Hitakari Sukharup Sauhari Bhaktanere Jau Hoe Mare Dham To Mane Seva Jore Tame Sudha Bhave Thai Niskam Sauhari Bhaktanere રેહું હોય મારે પાસ તો તમે મેલ જો રે મિથ્યા પંચ વિષયની આશ મુજવી ન જાનજો રે બીજા માઇક સુકાકાર પ્રીતિ તોડજો રે જૂઠા જાની કુટુંબ પરિવાર સૌ તમે પાડજો રે સર્વે દ્રઢ કરી મારા નિયમ. So Bhagwan wrote this stanza. And inside of this stanza, as you can read right there on the 3rd one, it says, Tum sevajore tame sud bhave the niskam. So serve me with pure feelings and free of worldly desires. All my devotees, if you want to stay near me in my Akshardham, then forsake the false expectations of enjoying panch vishays, as we just talked about, pleasures of the 5 senses. Forsake, meaning let go. Let go, meaning the soul cannot live without panch vishays. But instead of indulging in worldly panch vishays, indulge in godly panch vishays. That's all Bhagwan wants us to do. Just kind of divert. Know that other than me, all other forms are characterized by Maya. Break the love with your family relations. Even this is for Hari Bhaktos, okay? Having believed them to be false, temporary. Everyone should observe these niyams as I have given you firmly. Out of that, your question is right in the smack dab middle. Then forsake the false expectations of enjoying panch vishays. What is the importance of controlling worldly desires according to Maharaj? This right here. If you want to stay near Bhagwan, if you want to go to Bhagwan's Akshardham, the answer to your first half of the question is then you have to let go of the panch vishays. Bhagwan wants us to control these panch vishays by you indulging in, or everyone indulging in, God-related panch vishays. So it makes sense. Bhagwan likes those who are connected more with him. So everything that you do, sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, should be more related towards Bhagwan. That's all you got to do if you want to stay near, meaning in Akshardham with Bhagwan. Now, here's a scenario. Suppose we go to Akshardham, but we still have some kind of desires of panch vishays, okay? This is a suppose. Now, the muktos around there are all free of panch vishay. They don't have any desires but of God. Suppose we come there, we still we sit down and we're looking at Bhagwan. The muktos are going to be like, it smells bad over here. What is that? So they're trying to identify what that smell is. Well, that smell is of us having desires other than Bhagwan. So Bhagwan and even muktos are not able to live, or we are not able to live with them due to us not matching their preferences. Do you see what I'm saying? If you had a roommate and if he was completely a mess, something you're opposite of, you're like a perfectionist, this pen has to go here, this paper has to go here, this has to go here, and there should be no and this person on the other half is a complete wreck. His place is very smelly, his clothes are everywhere, not neat at all. Would you like living with him? No. In the same way, Bhagwan does not like living with a person who has desires for worldly panch vishays. That's the answer to your first half of the question. Understood? Awesome. Let's move on to the second half. And how can I practically apply this to improve myself? Very good question. Well, let's break it down. Panch vishays, what are they like? We have to first identify. If you want to know something, or if you want to kind of get more deeper, and you're going to have to know how the characteristic of something is. Well, right now we're analyzing panch vishays, the five senses. So what is that kind of like? Well, there's a video I want to show you first, and then I want to ask you if you understand maybe what I'm trying to show you, and then we'll kind of break it down. Let's play that video. So we have a biker here in the desert. Very nice. This is actually a real video. You see water down there, and he's just biking it, going very, very fast, going down. Okay, balancing, keeping balance. Okay, now here's the issue. He's going so fast that he's going to go right into the water. I don't think that's a good idea. But I guess it seems like he wants to go into the water. He's not slowing down by any chance. And here we go. I don't know. And, it's not water. It's not water at all. Oh my God. What just happened there? Can you analyze the video and maybe pick something up? If you can, no worries. Give it a try. But the video gives a lot of principle. Go ahead, Manobhag.
So I think it's maybe an illusion, and at the top of the sand dune it looks like there's water at the bottom, because you usually would perceive it to be water, but in this case it's an abnormality, and at the bottom the water has dried up.
Very good. Yash Bhagat, you want to take a crack at it?
Yeah. I would say like usually like when you're in the desert, like you're thirsty and you would think it's water, but in this case it's just like the sun reflecting off the sand.
Exactly. This is called a mirage. In the desert, it's an illusion to the human mind and the eyes, where the heat is coming up from the sand and the heat from the sun is coming down, and it kind of makes something where it's called a mirage, thinking that it's a reservoir of water, but in reality, when you go closer and closer, it's nothing and it disappears. In the same way, what are Panch Vishays like? They're like this mirage. It's an illusion. They're there, you feel them, you want to indulge in them, you try them, and bam. There is no, you can say, result. There is no happiness. It's just a mirage. You feel like you'll become happy by eating, suppose your favorite food is pizza, and you eat, you're so hungry, you eat. And then after you're satisfied, it's kind of like, boss, that's it. This is it. This is the happiness. And then if someone offers you a slice after even 15 minutes, it's like, hey, it's your favorite pizza, go ahead. You're like, nah, don't, please. I'm full. I want to go to sleep. My body is hurting from eating so much, right? That's because the Panch Vishays give just temporary happiness. The Panch Vishays are seen to be good. They seem like if you buy a fast, nice car, you'll be satisfied. If you get the iPhone 16, you'll be satisfied. If you get the best colognes and the best clothes, you'll be satisfied. If you get the best homes, you'll be satisfied. You see that, you see people indulging in them, smiling and being like, oh, I got this. But in reality, if you look at millionaires and billionaires of the world and read, those people even commit suicide. What is the reason for that? I thought you're happy because of the Panch Vishays. You got what you wanted. That means that was just temporary happiness. They were not satisfied from within. Only when the soul connects all the Panch Vishays to Bhagwan, that he will be satisfied, and that mirage will actually turn into water. Yes? Understood? So that's the question, and still continuing with a Vachanamrut Siddhant that I would like to share with you, so you'd pick it up better. On the other hand, this is Vachanamrut Gadara, 1st chapter, 18th. On the other hand, if one indulges in the Panch Vishays thoughtlessly, without distinguishing good from bad, then even if one is great as Narad and the Sankadik, meaning great Santos, one's mind will surely become polluted. What is so surprising then about the mind of one who believes oneself to be the body becoming polluted? Therefore, if one gives liberty to the 5 indriyas without applying the discrimination of what is suitable or unsuitable, one's antakaran, meaning mind, will become polluted. On the other hand, if one indulges only in pure vishays through the 5 indriyas, then one's antakaran will become pure. If the antakaran becomes pure, one's mind will be able to constantly remember God. So your answer to your question is, you asked, how can I practically apply this to improve myself? Keep the sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch pure as possible. That's the answer. Do not let it stray and go into things that Bhagwan will not like, that Guruji will not like, that Santos will not like. Yes, at this age, it's more tempting than if you were like a Dada, understand? But due to that, you will have to become strong and think of these words and just kind of stop it. That's it. The Panch Vishays that are related to God uplift the soul, and the Panch Vishays that are related to Maya, meaning the world, they cause rebirth and misery. That's all it is. So, short and sweet, keep the Panch Vishays clean, meaning the sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, and nonetheless understand that to control it, according to Maharaj's wish, just think that Maharaj will not keep me with him in Akshardham, and I want to go to Akshardham. I am a Bhakt of Bhagwan, so I should only stay within pure Panchvishis. Does that answer your question, Bhagat?
Yes, Swami. Thank you.
Awesome. No worries. Thank you so much. Yash Bhagat, coming to you. Jaswaran Bhagat, how are you? All right?
Yes, Swami, I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Let's go ahead and ask away.
Swami, my question is, what can we do to understand the glory of Bhagwan more and to not doubt his greatness?
Good question. Have you ever doubted his greatness?
No.
No, but it's still a question that came up. Good. What is God's greatness? That's always been a question in the human mind. How great is God? Is there a certain limit? Is there like a end point of God's greatness? Well, before we even answer all that, according to science, just going into that, I want to show you a video of just how small we are and how big everything else is. Let's play that video, please. You can't increase that. He sent it like that. Yep. He sent it like that. Hello. As you can see over here, Jupiter, and then now the sun. Look at how big the sun is. And then Sirius A, which is another, Vega, which is another superstar, Arcturus. I don't read. Yeah, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce all these. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Scooty, UI Scooty. Now look at that, and see, just keep looking. These are black holes. Cat Eye Nebula, okay. Helix Nebula, Orion Nebula, Omega Centauri, small megagalactic cloud, the Milky Way galaxy. Wow, okay. Now we just look at how big this, and the universe. That's all this is. Just from where we are, the smallest planet, to the universe. This is according to science's calculation. Even right now, science has not even got technology it has, but not human, outside of this galaxy, or solar system. So they still have a long way to go. But just saying so, God's greatness, we want to go back to that topic. If you think about how small we are compared to how big the universe is, and then now let's connect everything to the scriptures and Bhagwan. To understand God's glory, one has to understand how he exactly is. Now there's 4 elements of Bhagwan, how he is. He's Divya, meaning he's divine. He's Sakar, meaning he has a form. He's Pragat, meaning he's manifest. And he's Sarvopari, meaning he's supreme. These 4 elements are the base foundation of God's greatness. But your question is, what can we do to understand the glory of Bhagwan more? I completely understand your question, but first I want to break down God's glory. But the solution is only one. Santa samagama kije nishadina Santa samagama kije. The more you associate with Santos, the more you get closer to Santos. Puja Guruji and Santos, calling them, or joining those classes, or even in person when you come to Mandir and you ask more and more, that's how you find out the glory of Bhagwan more and more. And the other half is reading the Vachanamrut. Bhagwan Swaminarayan, his deepest principles extracted from all the scriptures are in one book, and that's the Vachanamrut. Surely, but I know it's a tough book to understand, but even just small paragraphs starting just a little bit at a time can really start to maneuver your mind in a way where Bhagwan will start opening up doors for you. But going back, Sant Samagam. if you want to understand God's glory, Sant Samagam. But I have a perfect charitra for you in Puja Guruji's life and the life of our Sanjeev Bhagat, Macon, Georgia. You probably know our Parshad Tilak Bhagat. He lives in Florida right now. This Bhagat, his Purvashram father, his name is Sanjeev Bhagat. You also met him. Both of you Bhaktas know him. Now, the thing is that about this Bhagat, before, I want to say at least 18 to 20 years ago, he was living the thug life, if you know what I'm saying. Gangsters for life, you know. The chains, like golden chains, the tattoos, the hair, the fighting persona. He was actually in a gang. And he actually beat up people for a living. Didn't study, you know, dropped out of high school. You know, the usual. And then he joined a gang, you know, didn't listen to his parents too much, went off to the movies, would come back to his house every couple of days, staying over at friend's house, did everything, been there, done that. Understand? Do I have to describe more? No? You got it? This is Sanjeev Bhagat, okay? I'm calling him Bhagat right now. Sanjeev Bhagat, yeah, 20 years ago. Now what happened was his dad, his mom were good bhaktos of Puja Guruji. And in that time in cars, they didn't have USBs or, you know, even the CDs. They had those tapes. You know those tapes? So, yeah, this is back in my time, if you know what I'm saying. Now, those tapes, they had Puja Guruji's recording of a Brahm Satra Katha he did like a long time ago, like 25 years ago or something. And from that, his dad would listen while going to work. Now, they only shared one car. They weren't that, like, you know, they're low to medium class. They lived in New York, Flushing, New York. Now, what happened was, he told me this. That's why I know all this. It's a lot of detail. I understand. So his dad will listen to this katha, going to work, coming back. Now, what happened was one day he wanted to take the car to go meet his friends and, you know, enjoy life. Dropping out of school, he's just doing that. So he likes listening to the radio, obviously music and all that stuff. But he turned it on and Puja Guruji's voice started. This katha, Adhyatmik Pathe, you probably never heard of it. It's probably before you even born. And it was going, and Guruji, or Sanjeev Bhai, I should say, was listening to this. And usually he would turn it off, or he would just avoid it, you know, just go to music. But somehow Guruji pulled him, just through sound, meaning katha. And he listened for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And after listening, he started crying. While driving, he was crying. This is just the first time he's heard Katha of Puja Guruji, okay? And all of a sudden in his mind, he felt like, I'm in the wrong direction. I should not be, you know, friends with these people who are gang members doing things that are not legal. I don't want to live this kind of life. And all of a sudden, he was going to the movies, he was going to his friends' house to enjoy. He turned around, you know, made a U-turn. He called his friend while in the car and told him, now from on, so in that time, just a 20-minute period I'm talking about, not more than that. In that time, he told him that, you know, I'm in the wrong direction. I can't do this anymore. I want to change my life. And Guruji was explaining the Mahima of Bhagwan, who we've received. You know, we're very fortunate. We've received Bhagwan. Why not worship him, and why go after these panchvishes? But Guruji was explaining that in the Katha. And all of a sudden, that greatness, that it just hit him in the head, made a U-turn, called him, went back to his home, and like completely like fell at the feet of his mom and dad, cried, said, I'm sorry, I was, you know, I was living this kind of life, and completely became, you know, met Guruji, became an Ekantik Bhakta, and right now, just 5 years ago, he gave Tilak Bhagat to, you know, Loyadham Puja Guruji, and now Bhagat is a parsad here. But that all sparked off just by Sanjeev Bhagat doing Sant Samagam of Puja Guruji's Katha in the car and understanding Bhagwan's greatness in the car. So Yash Bhagat, perfect sample for you. No need to do too much. Just keep associating with Santo and Guruji, and automatically you will start to realize Bhagwan who he is. You'll see that bad habits are starting to go away from your life. You'll see that your mindset, before it may be in a negative way, your output on things may be different, and automatically, due to Sant Samagam, your output changes. You become more positive. You become more God-centered. All these things happen just due to Sant Samagam. The most important element in spirituality, I can say without a doubt, according to Bhagwan Swaminarayan's Vachanamrut. So that's one of the reasons why this is the solution to understand God's glory, do Sant Samagam. Nonetheless, a Vachanamrut to kind of support what I just said, according to Vartal 12, is, check this out. Before I show the picture, I want to read you what Bhagwan exactly said. The soul that develops firm faith in God, firm faith or glory, greatness, it's all one thing, in God, by profoundly associating with the Sant, progresses spiritually day by day. Your answer is right there. Just like the waxing moon on the second day of the bright half of the lunar month, getting into a little bit of astronomy, as the sun's effect on the moon increases, the waxing moon continues increasing. Bhagwan is very practical, and these examples are very beautiful. He fits it right in. Finally, when Punam arrives, meaning full moon, the moon becomes full. Similarly, before developing total faith in God, the Jeev is as dim as the new moon of Amas. Amas is like no moon, you can't see the moon. Only as bright as a glowworm. You've seen those lightning bugs, the green ones? How bright are they? Nothing. Then, as a person develops faith coupled with the knowledge of God's greatness, his Jivatma progresses and becomes like the full moon of Punam. Thereafter, his Indriyas and Antakaran are no longer capable of dislodging from his faith, regardless of the type of action God performs. He does not perceive any faults or doubts in God. This is the second half of your question, correct? Good. In addition, one who has faith in God coupled with the knowledge of his greatness becomes a fearless and great devotee. Saying this, let's take a look at the picture that kind of resembles this whole and ties everything together. This is astronomy, but I think you can figure it out. The Earth is in the middle. As you can see over here, the right side, it says sunlight. So the sun is on the right-hand side, where I am. Let's put it that way, okay? Sun is shooting this way. As you can see, let's go in the inner circle. There's that's new moon, meaning it's black. Sorry. Just hits me every time. Apologies for that. As you can see, there is nothing there. It's just darkness. As it starts to wane, the crescent, as you can see, it's a half a crescent, then it's a half a moon in the third quarter, then it's right there like 75%, then it's a full moon completely on the other side of Earth. You see that? Full moon. Then it starts to go down. So this is a cycle of 30 days from day 1 to day 15, day 16 to day 30. So obviously that's why in 1 month there's one Punam, one full moon, and one Amas, which is one no moon. Giving that example, Bhagwan says that one who realizes God's greatness, first he's like the new moon, which is completely dark. And then after that, as he slowly starts to understand God's greatness, he becomes like the full moon, which is Punam. Bhagwan's examples are beautiful and they give us inspiration. But the second half of your question is that when he realizes Bhagwan's greatness, He will not doubt him. Bhagwan, how he is, how his form is, how great he is. In something, just one thing to spark your mind. In the Vachanamrut, Bhagwan Swaminarayan has said that Bhagwan is so great that in his one pore, we have pores here, in one pore, there are countless universes floating. I know this is too hard to comprehend. I'm still trying to figure it out. But that's just one statement about God's greatness. There's countless statements, but the perfect way to understand is by reading the Vachanamrut. And another thing, Bhagwan says in the Vachanamrut, even though these facts may be in the scriptures, it is only when the Satpurush manifests on this earth and one hears them being narrated by him that one understands them. Remember, if you want to understand the glory of Bhagwan, associate with the Satpurush, which is none other than Arvala Puja Guruji. So this is the answer to your question. Is that satisfactory? Is there? Very good. It's a 2-in-1 shot. You guys did great today. Fantastic having you. Thank you so much. And is there any other questions? We good? Good. That's another episode of our webinar, Q&A. Thank you so much for joining us. Jai Swaminarayan.
Jai Swaminarayan.
That's